Attention all viewers, the program you are about to watch, Searching for Sasquatch, is for entertainment purposes. Accounts described by guests are claimed to be true and accurate. Some names have been changed to protect individual privacy. Jason Kenzie is an expert animal adventurer with 25 years of field experience. Caution and companionship is advised for all who venture into the deep forest or backcountry.
A Virginia man claims he spotted Bigfoot.
A man has filed a lawsuit against the provincial government because he thinks the Sasquatch actually exists.
This week, the FBI released Bigfoot documents from the 1970s.
Sasquatch, also called Bigfoot, from Salish Sasquatch, meaning wild man, is a large, hairy, human-like creature believed by some people to exist in the northwestern United States and western Canada. In 2013, the legendary Sasquatch was officially registered by the non-governmental organization Zoobank as a new species called Homo sapiens cognatus. Whoa! Okay, so that was probably creaking of a tree. I hope. From ostriches, wolves, bobcats, kangaroos, and everything in between, I'm no stranger to wildlife. As an animal photojournalist for over 25 years, I have traveled to some amazing locations. Now I'm on a mission to unlock the mystery of one of the world's most elusive creatures. My name is Jason Kenzie, and this is my documentary, Searching for Sasquatch. Welcome to Chapter 3, and I just heard something right after I did a howl. So I have gone deep into the forests of British Columbia in search of this legendary creature that people call Sasquatch or Bigfoot. Now I'm just watching my surroundings because I definitely heard something. But in this documentary, I'm going to go back out with my friend Mickey and my friend Paul. And I'm excited to say Jason from Chapter 2. Now I had to take a canoe across this huge lake, and I'm standing in an area where I believe, and that is if Sasquatches do exist, are here. So I'm just going to do another howl. Ho! Okay. So I better, with no reply from my howl, I knew I had to head into the direction of those sounds to figure out what made them. But before I could seek out the root of this growl, I need to go back in time a couple of weeks to show you how I got where I am now. All right, I'll see you in a bit. So right now I'm on my way to Hope, BC. I'm going to be meeting this guy by the name of George. He loves the outdoors. He has spent most of his life in the outdoors. He's obsessed with fishing. He's going to tell me a story where he believes he had an encounter with Sasquatch. I'm excited to hear his story. I want him to tell me where this location is to see if I can find any evidence of these creatures. George.
How you doing?
It's so nice to meet you.
Yeah,
Hey, I hear you have an incredible Sasquatch encounter. Tell me, what exactly happened?
I was fishing one day with a buddy of mine, and you know what? We heard a lot of crashing and banging, and we're like, somebody showed up, and we looked and they're like, excuse me, there's nobody there. And all of a sudden, this mountain kind of moved, and this thing came out of the nowhere, and it was like 7 feet tall, and it looked like a big man, full of hair, and he was pointing, and I'm like, that's not right. And I said, don't ever tell anybody that what we just saw.
And so, how close were you?
We were about maybe 100 yards, if that. We were fishing, and I'm like, man, let's just get out of here. I'm scared. And he goes, okay, let's just, between you and I, we'll never tell anybody about it again.
And so what exactly did the creature look like?
He was like 7 feet tall, and as he came out of the mountain and he put his hand out like that, we were baffled. So when he pointed like that, I couldn't even want to start the motor, and I looked at my friend. By the time we looked back, and he was gone.
Wow,
it's an amazing story that I cannot really want to share with anybody but you. Jason, you need to go to Nalahatch, 50 kilometers just northeast of where we discussed, and you will find remnants and droppings of the Sasquatch.
Have you seen droppings of Sasquatch?
I have.
Have you seen footprints?
I have not, but I've seen branches knocked down. I've seen beds nestled that is way too big for deer.
How do you know that the droppings are from Sasquatch? Are they big piles?
They're twice the size of bear, yes.
You never just poked around at it to see if...
No, but if that's where you want to find, I would like to know the truth.
Okay. The conversation I had with George was very interesting, but I'm still unsure that the creature he saw wasn't just a guy wearing a fur jacket. Anyhow, I'm headed to a lake not too far from where George asked me to go. Here, locals claim to have seen large, ape-like creatures walking on 2 legs. I'm going to canoe deep into the wilderness to see if I can find any evidence of these creatures. Wow, it's so beautiful out here. And here comes the rain, just singing in the rain, singing in the rain, paddling my boat. Gonna find Sasquatch, gonna find Sasquatch. Wow, look how beautiful it is. Wow, that was one heck of a trip. Whew. This is where I'm going to set up my camp. And tonight, I hope I find some evidence of Sasquatch. Wow, you should see how beautiful it is out here. Knowing that the sun is going to go down in just a few hours, I wanted to assess the surrounding area, so I decided to go for a little walk in the forest. And after completing a howl, to my surprise, I got back a deep growl. It lasted for about 5 seconds, and it shook me to the core. Okay, so that was probably creaking of a tree. I hope. As I walked towards the area where I believe the growl had come from, I started feeling uneasy, as if I'm being watched. Then I saw it. Something black in the distance, 150 feet away. I couldn't tell if it was a black bear, a cougar, or maybe a burnt log. There is a black shape in the forest. Might be my eyes playing tricks. I wanted to get closer, but there was a field of devil's club between it and me. Look at them all. They have these giant leaves, and they have thorns all underneath them. I was alone now. My camera person was too afraid to follow me. I didn't blame them. If it was a bear, there was no way I could outrun it. I retreat back to camp. I will return to the spot later when I have a second person with me. To be careful where I step. Oh. Wait. I think think I hear something. Hello? Hello? It could be another hiker. Hello? Is there someone there that's hiking? I'm just a hiker myself. Earlier I heard either it was a growl or it could have been a tree swaying in the wind, and the bark is making that sound. That sound like a growl. Or it could have been a cougar or a bobcat. Hello! Now what's scary is not being able to see 10 feet into the darkness. We are talking about creatures so adaptable to the wilderness. They could be right next to me and I wouldn't be able to see them. Okay. I'm just gonna sit here and just wait and see. Oh, I hear some cracking. I'm just gonna stay here for a little bit and just listen. I don't believe that I will actually come walking up on a Sasquatch. I believe if Sasquatch is real, that they will come up on me. My time here in this area has come to an end. I must head to the Harrison Lake area to meet Danny Gruff. He believes Sasquatch visits him daily. I'm interested to hear what he has to say. Hello?
Hey Jason,
Oh, hi Dave. How are you?
we want you to come out to Michigan. Come up to Michigan, we're having a conference. We want you to come to the conference and be a speaker.
No, that'll be great. I would love to come out to Michigan.
Awesome, great, we look forward to seeing you. And oh, by the way, we're going out on an expedition afterwards. We're also going to have Robert Kryder with us and Adam Davies coming out with us, as well as the Sasquatchers too. So they'll be coming out, and we'd love for you to go up north with us. We're going to be going to the Upper Peninsula by Paradise, Michigan, where there's been some activity, and we'll be checking out the area. How's that sound to you?
Hey, perfect. Hey, okay, just send me all the information and I'll be in touch shortly, okay?
Great. Well, let's be in touch and look forward to that conference. All right, take care. Thanks. Bye.
Talk to you later, Dave. Bye. Wow, this is great. I can't believe that I'm going to be flying to Michigan. You know, my very first Bigfoot conference. I wonder what I'm going to talk about. Hi, Danny. How are you?
Hello, Jason. I'm good, thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. My name is Danny Groff. I've been in contact with and had interactions with Sasquatch people in British Columbia since 2008. I'm a spiritual medium and known as an interspecies communicator. I've done quite a bit of writing commentary online, and I would like to show some of the gifts that were given to me over the last 13 years.
What kind of gifts?
They make things in stone. They show the images of the Sasquatch people. This is a Sasquatch head, which has multiple images on it. If you turn it over, it has a Sasquatch profile, and in the right lighting, you'll see eyes and a mouth and everything in this same image. And if you turn it back over again, you'll see a Mama Sasquatch and baby on the back of her head where they ride quite high on the Sasquatch bum.
Where did you find that rock exactly?
This stone was given to me in the Quesnel area, and it was quite a few years ago on the Blackwater River. When I went for a trip with my dad one day, I was directed telepathically, spiritually guided to go and pick up this particular stone, and it was sitting there, and this was what I was directed to find.
I have a question. When they give you telepathic messages, is it in English?
Yes, it's in English.
Really? So, okay, that's cool.
Good English.
Really? So
Yes.
do they have an accent?
No accent. No.
For everyone who is watching, Danny believes that wherever he goes, the Sasquatch people leave behind stones as messages for him. If this is truly for real, it is a good thing for Danny. He is very happy and loves the world that is around him, and anything that gives you a purpose in life is perfect. Feel free to contact him. He's willing to work with anybody who can see his vision. Have you had a Class A sighting or encounter with Sasquatch, where you've seen Sasquatch in front of you?
Yes.
In the daytime?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Tell me that encounter.
Okay, well, the very first one I've seen was it was in my backyard in 2008, and he was out in the backyard. He was quite large, maybe 8 to 9 feet tall, red, some red in a very reddish brown hair, and he spoke to me. He never moved his lips at all. He spoke to me telepathically, and he told me that he was there for purpose, and that I was going to be all right, that there was no danger in him being there.
Did you get scared at first when you saw him?
No. I had absolute calmness with him there. I had no feeling of threat. I had no feeling of danger. And,
I'm pretty sure that I would have pooped my pants if that happened to me. Because you're able to communicate with these Sasquatch beings, is there any way you can ask them to just bring you rocks of gold?
No, we don't talk about gold. We don't speak of anything to do with gold.
Silver.
Their value in the world, they don't value things as humans value.
Have you ever had rocks thrown at you?
I've never had rocks thrown at me. I've never had sticks thrown at me. I've never had any repelling. I've always been invited to be a part of their communications, and I've always been respected by them.
Why did you want to talk to me?
Jason, the reason why you were chosen above all other people was not by my choosing. It was by the choosing of the Sasquatch people that you be the one to do this initial interview. They know your kindness to animals, and they know that you have a mild demeanor, and that you have a good design of mind.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You can bring me gold if you want to. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. What if a nugget came out and actually beamed you right
ping me there
and landed in my hand?
Kill me. Just chucking like gold like crazy. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome.
For having me come out and hear your story.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming.
I got to go. I have some other people to interview.
Yeah.
They've had encounters also.
Yeah.
So I will talk to you later.
Yes, okay. Take care.
Danny seems like such a nice guy, but it's very hard for me to believe in Sasquatches roaming these forests if all I have to go on is faces in rocks. Before I leave Harrison, I decide to spend some time here looking around. And it doesn't take me long to find an interesting tree structure shaped like an X. As I move closer to the structure, I truly wonder if these are really made by giant hairy creatures. Why? I hope I can find somebody who can shed some light on the subject. Okay, so what's interesting is this one has somewhat of a hole. You can see that it fell over. But this one over here doesn't have a hole in it. Like, it doesn't look like it. It's as if these were just carried here and put into this spot. Good chance it's probably snow load, but the problem with that is there's nothing else around me that has this. There's no other trees that have fallen. And this just kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. And I don't see any machine marks where a machine would pick it up and place it. But it's probably snow load. This is beautiful. It's amazing what Mother Nature can create. Like, look at this here. Look at that. I don't know if you can see, but wow. Like all the lines in the trees and the bugs in my eyes. Macaroni and cheese. This is what I survive on in the wilderness. What's interesting is, you hear about these hikers, these hunters. They have an experience where all of a sudden there's rocks thrown at them. Then there's a tree that's pushed over, and now they're freaking out. They're like, oh my God, Sasquatch, they're pissed off at me and they want me to leave. They're throwing rocks and they're pushing over trees. But there's always one tree that gets pushed over, no more. It doesn't make sense. If I am a 900-pound gorilla-looking creature covered in hair and I'm pissed off at that hiker or that hunter, I'm not just gonna push over one tree. So maybe it's by accident. Here, I'll show you what I mean. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Oh, beauty human. Hope he didn't see me. As the daylight turns to moonlight, I'm on a journey to find something that will give me undisputed proof that we share our forests with living, breathing, hairy giants. Oh wow, this tree is completely hollow. Okay, so I think this will be a good spot to just kind of rest for a second. Okay. Whoa! I haven't had any experience yet. Not even a yelp. So, it looks like I'm gonna have to turn in. Sun's gonna be coming up soon. Alright. Have a good night. See you tomorrow morning. It is late now, and I must sleep because I am leaving in the morning. I have to head to the airport and board a plane to Michigan. I can't even get into my own tent. I'm on my way to Michigan. I'm flying into Detroit. I can't wait to meet these Bigfoot investigators. Obviously, I'm sitting next to a crying baby. What is the odds? You know what? This is going to be fun. I can't wait.
I drove all the way to get them.
As I drove through the countryside towards Ann Arbor, I was getting more and more excited to meet the people who brought me out here. As I walked into the event, I had to keep cool and be very, very professional. Oh crap! I just found Sasquatch! Because this is my first Bigfoot conference, there was so much to look at. Look, there's the she-squatchers.
That's terrible. That'll break the camera.
And there's Cliff from Finding Bigfoot. Well, before I talk to them, there's a few other people I want to talk to. Oh boy, this is exciting. Watch this. It's Ken. Adam, this is exciting. Hey guys.
So my name is Adam Davies. I've been doing expeditions all over the world. So the Mokele Mbembe in the Congo, the Orang Pendek in Sumatra, the Yeti in Nepal, you name it, I've done it. And I've been doing it for decades now. I haven't even worked out how long I've been doing it, but for a very long time.
So you search for Sasquatch?
Yeah, some of the time that's one of the things I've looked for, yeah.
What is the most amazing experience that you've had while searching for Sasquatch?
Well, I think one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had was while I was in Port Chatham in Alaska. And Stephen Major and I we did the first excursion out there. We went out there with Josiah D. Martin, and while we were there, I had a night vision camera, and I saw, and we're in an uninhabited area, by the way, there's no people around for many, many miles, and I saw a large bipedal creature run and rush through the forest towards us. I got it on film. It's not real clear with the definition, but it was analysed by Dr. Robert Alley, who knows his stuff, and he came to the conclusion, while it wasn't conclusive, it was certainly bipedal. You could see that locomotion. And there's nothing that's going to be bipedal in that forest moving for that great distance. I know that bears can sometimes walk bipedally, but this was rushing towards us. You could clearly see the locomotion as it rushed towards us. That was very exciting.
My name is Ken Gerhard. I'm a cryptozoologist, which means I actively search for evidence of undocumented animals, including legendary creatures like Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, Mothman, the Chupacabra, and so forth. And I've been involved for 45 years. Ever since I was an 8-year-old kid, I became obsessed with Bigfoot and cryptozoology. Started my first field research at Loch Ness when I was 15, and it's just been a lifelong pursuit and passion.
What is the most amazing experience that you've had while searching for Sasquatch?
In 2003, August 18, 2003, I heard and recorded a deep grunting ape-like vocalization in an area called Cottonwood Lake in northern Texas. I was with 3 other investigators. It was a primate sound. There's no doubt about it. It was very deep, very loud, very powerful. I could not see what was making this vocalization because it was obscured in heavy brush. We attempted to flush it out. We couldn't. We went to a higher vantage point and shined a spotlight down and did see some eye reflection. And we camped out there. During the course of the night, we heard something moaning across the lake, a very eerie sound. And then in the following morning, when we finally made our way through the brush to where we had heard the vocalizations, we found deep human-like footprints and animal turtle shells that had been ripped in half and thrown into a pile like they were pistachio shells. So that was the most convincing thing I've experienced, where I thought that Bigfoot or Sasquatch must be real. There's just no other explanation for that. So.
I even get to speak about my documentary.
Please welcome to the stage our next presenter, Mr. Jason Kenzie.
After 45 minutes of talking about my Sasquatch experiences, which at this point was very little, I mostly talked about my animal adventures. I knew my time here was coming to an end, and it was time to meet up with the crew and head out to another adventure. What are we doing?
Going on a Bigfoot expedition in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
And you can tell how excited he is from his excitement in his voice.
Very excited.
And these are the guys. Come on, Robert. Adam, Dave, come on, let's go. We're going to northern Michigan right now. We're going on a Bigfoot expedition. This is going to be great. Tammy, Jen, Jenna, come on, we're losing daylight. Those are the she-squatches. Come on.
Jason, that's not my car.
Right now, I'm with the she-squatchers, and we are going to be meeting the other members soon at base camp. Oh, don't you worry. I snore like no tomorrow. I'm like an earthquake when I snore.
Oh, I snore like a banshee. I'll admit it any time of the day.
These girls are a hoot and lots of fun. I finally arrived at base camp. And I see that some of the researchers are getting ready to survey the surrounding forests. Sun will be setting soon, and the hunt for these Sasquatches will begin. Oh, hey, there's Robert. I know he was just in the forest. I want to ask what he found while he was out there.
There's a clearing in there about 50 yards and then another one about 100 yards, and we're going to go just beyond it because it's a conjunction of a pathway or an old shut down road that leads straight back. And
Where's
right here.
As the sun disappears behind the endless miles of forest, we are greeted by the soft light of the moon. Now Jenna, Tammy, and I venture deep into the dark forest to find where Robert Kryder has set up Camp 1. We have lost Jenna. Come on, Jenna.
Already lost Jenna.
I've been invited to Michigan to speak at a Bigfoot conference. I've met some very cool cryptid researchers who have taken me deep into the Michigan forests in search of Bigfoot. Now I am with Tammy and Jenna from the She-Squatches, searching for the camp of Robert Kryder. Only a few minutes into our hike, we have lost Jenna. Come on, Jenna.
Already lost Jenna.
The one thing about these forests is you can get lost very easily. You can just walk 10 feet off the trail and get turned around. Hopefully, Jenna is not too far away. Jenna! Is that you? Jenna, where are you?
Yeah, it's really nice when it's dark.
There you are, Jenna. I'm glad to see that you're okay. Come on, let's see if we can find Robert. As we approach an open area, I decided I'm going to do a whoop. Researchers believe this is a way Sasquatches communicate with each other. With no reply, we carry on looking for the camp. These things attract mosquitoes and no tomorrow. Okay, so right now we are on our way to where the other Sasquatch hunters have set camp. This is so exciting, even though you can't really see me, but that's okay. As we walk through the branches and the many fallen trees that lay motionless on the ground, I can't help but think of all the sightings of these 900-pound hairy creatures that Michigan has had over the years. There is one person's eyewitness account that stands out.
Hi, I am Tater Big Stomp from Michigan, and I had a Bigfoot encounter in 2011 before I was actually a believer. It's what made me a believer. I was deer hunting, I was in a tree stand, and a bunch of different weird things had happened throughout the day. Noises, smells, things I'd never heard of for Bigfoot because I didn't believe in Bigfoot. Never gave it any thought. And at one point I saw two very large, dark figures walking across the field through the woods farther away from me. And I was so infuriated because I hunt on state land. And so I figured there's another hunter. It never fails. But
so you thought he might be in a ghillie suit? Like both of them?
My first thought was it was a father and son hunting because it was also bird season. So I was bow hunting for deer. Then I was like, no, it's not people. It's too big. And why would they be wearing all black? The strange thing that happened was I texted my husband that I just saw two deer. They were large and black with no ears, no horns, and like just a head and a bump, and then it went straight down. So that was just a really odd thing. I had no idea what was going on. So anyway, the following day we parked and we were going into this back area, kind of behind where I'd seen the 2 black deer. And it was very early in the morning, and my husband and I were out there, and we were getting out of the truck, and we had our headlamps on, and I had a chair and my bow and a coop, because I was gonna hunt from a tent this time, on my back. And my husband was getting ready and coming, and so I was waiting for him. And when I first opened the car door, I heard a howl off to the side, and I'm like, oh, coyotes are out. Because I'd heard numerous coyotes all season in the woods, and I wasn't afraid of the coyote howls. He comes and he's like, you ready? And we're like, yep. So we start hiking out, and we are just maybe barely in front of his truck. 10 to 12 feet? Maybe a little farther. I'm a bad measure of distance. And something screamed at us so loud and so fierce, and it went through our bodies. I had tears in my eyes. I felt like if I was a cartoon character, you would have seen my cheeks blow and my hair blow this way. It came from this side, and like I froze, and my husband goes, "Did you hear that?" And I said,
"Well, I felt it. Forget about hearing it."
Right, and I go, "No." I was like frozen solid, and he's like, "Choo!" And he is in the truck, and I'm still standing there, like, oh, okay. And so I look back and I'm like, oh, whew. And it's pitch black. I've just got the headlamp on, and so did he. And so I go back and I chuck the stuff in the back of the truck, and he's practically already in reverse, driving his Tahoe, and I'm barely in the truck. And I'm like, no, what is that? What is that? And he's like, let's get out of here. And I'm like, no, I'm getting my deer. So I'm bewildered. I'm shocked. I'm shaking. I felt like my eyeballs had goosebumps. It was in your chest. And we were back home before our children were awake that day, because as much as I wanted to continue to hunt someplace else, my husband's like, we are getting out of here. Nope. And we've not hunted out there ever again since.
So now do you believe in Sasquatch?
That evening when we went home, we started looking up what would make those screeches. Bobcats, this, that, the other. And that's when we started researching Sasquatch. And all of a sudden I was like, those deer. And I looked back at my phone, because we don't delete our texts, and I was like, oh my God, it wasn't hunters. And I said, why did I even tell you they were deer? Remember when something slapped the truck? And I'm like, oh my God. And so ever since that day, I have been crazy into Bigfoot, and we've had numerous experiences since, but that is the end of what I'm going to tell you.
Perfect. It's interesting how you hear hundreds of stories of people hiking in the forest, and when confronted by something screaming at them from the bushes, they're frozen with fear. Maybe it's infrasound that is causing them to freeze up. Infrasound, sometimes referred to as low-frequency sound, is sound that is lower in frequency than 20 hertz, or cycles per second. That is below the normal limit of human hearing. Infrasound can travel through long distances, permeating buildings, cutting through dense forests, and even passing through mountains. Whales, elephants, hippos, rhinos, giraffes, tigers, and alligators are known to use infrasound to communicate over long distances. 19 hertz infrasound is called the fearing frequency, often causing discomfort, dizziness, blurred vision by vibrating the eyeballs, hyperventilation, and fear, possibly leading to panic attacks. One study has suggested that infrasound may cause feelings of awe or fear in humans.
This is a squatchy area.
Well, after a half an hour of searching, we finally found Robert. And hey, it looks like he's still setting up. So what are you doing?
Just laying stuff up. I've got that therm and parabolic up, and we just set camp basically. So picked a spot in here where we're pretty secluded in the middle of it, and got my little bivouac set right there. We've got 2 tents over here. We could put our bear bag up there for food, and other than that, we're just getting the thermals and the equipment fired up. So now I'm going to break into a little more gear here. There, baby.
One of the coolest things about Robert is he isn't just an incredible animal tracker and treasure hunter, he is also an extraordinary inventor. Here he is showing me a device he built. I call it the bionic ear and flare. Moths.
Yeah, man, I had to go put jeans on and respray.
No voice recording found. Well.
I said, go ahead, darling.
How was your night? Well, it was pretty good. I was attacked by like hundreds of moths.
And 1,500 mosquitoes.
Yeah. This device can detect a mouse scurrying along the ground at 1 mile. It also has a powerful flare that has unlimited range to pick up a heat signature.
So this is our photon thermal and stuff set up, so just it fires back up. Wait a second. Who the hell is that?
Robert had just turned on the flare on his bionic ear to show me how nice it worked, when suddenly a figure emerged from behind a tree. This is incredible. Could this be the creature named Bigfoot that we have been looking for?
Wait a second.
No, what's that?
Who the hell is that?
What is that?
Keep on it, man.
Yeah.
Who is that?
Josh.
Oh, dude. We had no idea you were over there. I just clicked on the thermal.
I know. We're like, what the hell?
Yeah, see the subject here. We had no idea Josh was standing in the dark. And we clicked on the thermal. Does he move? No. Say anything? No. He just stands there and looks to be a hominid silhouette in the trees. Good job, Brooko. That was awesome.
Josh comes walking out from nowhere, and we have the thermal, and for a second we're like, what is that?
At first he was just standing completely still, and we came across, turned it on, and there's a silhouette. I'm like, what the fuck?
For the rest of the night, we put out tree cams, walked around the perimeter, looking for any tree structures and footprints. Look at that there.
Yeah, look at that there.
Look at that. I even found a small hummingbird nest. If you blink, you won't see it. I was even able to interview Blake Deuscher on his Bigfoot encounter. Tell me your name and explain what happened.
My name is Blake Deuscher, and so one night I was out coyote hunting. A possum walked up to me. I was on the ground laying down, and I had a scoped rifle, so I wasn't sighted in to shoot something that close, and so I missed. And thinking that my hunt is over, everything else is going to be running away, I hear the neighbor yelling at me. And then at the second and third time I realized it wasn't the neighbor yelling at me, and he wasn't speaking English. He was speaking some caveman talk. It basically sounded like but it felt so human that it was the neighbor. So I realize he does it again, that he's getting closer. So where I'm at, where they're at, is they're coming in, and then they start paralleling me, and it's about 100 yards. But they're coming towards me. All of a sudden I hear a female join in, and they start bickering like a married couple. And she's making all sorts of fluty noises, and he's arguing with her back. And they keep going back, and so when they get to me 100 yards, all of a sudden it's just quiet, and I stay out there for about 15 minutes, and I hear a little snap here, a little something there, rustle out. But it was very surreal and very human-like, but at the same time it was language, but just completely different language. Very human-like language. Obviously they were bickering and arguing like humans, and it wasn't animalistic type of communication, but seemed very intelligent, especially when he yelled at me. It came off as, your neighbor yelling at you for something, being too loud at night.
Do you think of trying to go in that direction to get visual?
I was so in disbelief at what I was hearing and stuff that I just wanted to get inside.
At 4 a.m. in the morning, I decided to turn in for the night, because tomorrow I'm going to be showing some of the Sasquatch investigators a large tree structure that I found just earlier that day. But before we go and do that, there was some exciting news. Adam Davies and a few of the other Sasquatch researchers had found a couple large footprints.
Walked up the trail and we found a potential place for some clearing. Looked at the print, you can see a potential heel definition. And then as we go farther up, there's another heel, yeah? And it's not determinative yet, but it's about 11, just over 11 inches. So we've cast that. David's taken some eDNA before we cast it, and we've marked him off, and after we've done this thing that we're going to do, we'll obviously go see him, because we're waiting for them to dry. So that's where we've been. So do forgive us, but we had to cast the prints now.
No, that's great.
So it was exciting.
As we journeyed into the woods to retrieve the castings, I was excited for two reasons. First, I was with a group of new friends that I trust and respected. Second, I really wanted these footprints to be that of Sasquatch. Hey Adam, it's dangerous walking backwards. Can you tell me if there's a cliff behind me?
No, you're a I hope you fall on it.
Just give me
Die.
Just give me a shove. He seems like a nice guy, but really, in reality, I don't know.
I do want to say, while we were out there and cast them, before we cast them, we took eDNA samples from inside the print and from a control area outside the print as well. They were taken forensically sterile, and they were packaged so they could be tested.
Did you find any hairs? And were they real hairs or could be spider legs?
Spider legs. But we didn't see any hairs. I did not see any hairs at all. So we just hope that the soil can be tested for eDNA, and that we can maybe make some sort of identification as to what left the prints.
Look at this.
Oh yeah, it's ready. Better hurry, man.
Oh, come on. Now.
We're all really excited.
Wow.
Really. Why aren't you doing this?
Because I said someone from Michigan should do this, do you remember? It's your conference, it's your investigation. I found it, cast it, you pull it out. That's the way it works.
I think they're the only ones qualified knowing the substrate.
It needs cleaning up anyway.
You know, if you throw it against that tree, all the dirt will fall off.
All jokes aside, I'm trying very hard to believe that this is a footprint left behind by a 900-pound creature. I have to be honest, I don't really see a foot with digits. Maybe this Bigfoot was attacked by a chipmunk that gnawed off its toes. After extracting the other casting, we did another recon of the area, setting up cameras.
A lot of mistakes people make is they'll set the trail camera up here. They're not thinking about trying to capture the face of a large creature. If I set a creature that's 8 foot up and I set it here, because I'm trying, all you're going to get is small game, yeah? We want it high.
Look at this! This is an incredible find! Raspberries! Love these things! And maybe Bigfoot. Raspberries. Oh, look at these. These are awesome. I love raspberries. Okay, enough with the berries. It's time to go check out the tree structures I found earlier. So, the other day I found some tree structures. They were amazing. I don't know exactly what made these tree structures, but I'm taking a few guys back in there to see if we can find it. Oh, the weather has turned. Let's go. So I'm not sure if we're going to be able to find it because I was running all over the place, but we're going to give it a try. Yeah, I'll take that while you get over this log. Yeah, see, this is interesting, eh?
Yeah, but especially with this green one through here.
Because you can't tell me that is natural. Like, it doesn't mean a Sasquatch did it. It could be a human because it's so small.
And then this green one, the question is, what initially could naturally cause this green tree to come down like this?
Yeah.
Only a big storm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I could have grown that way, could have been early on. Okay, so, let's say this one here fell. Let's say this one here fell first. Well, that's not even touching the ground anymore. There's nothing left. It's not even touching this tree, so how would it have gotten weaved in like this?
Yeah, because look at the first one.
Because this ain't even touching the tree.
Yeah, oh.
It's just stuck up in there without touching, you know, I mean.
Todd is correct about how unnatural the placement of these trees are. And then we found the tree structures I stumbled on earlier. What are you looking at?
Might be hair.
Yeah. You see how this is not natural. It's like almost placed here. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to touch it because if you touch it, you're contaminated.
After interviewing an eyewitness on his Bigfoot encounter, Adam Davies, Robert Kryder, and fellow Bigfoot researchers take me deeper into the forest where they have made casts what they believe could be footprints left behind by Bigfoot. Now I am with Tammy from the Sasquatchers and Todd Parsons searching for strange tree structures that I found earlier in the day. Oh, this is incredible. And Tammy has found something that could be hair. What are you looking at?
Might be hair. Then it's probably not a hair. Yeah, see? If here, there's more. It's not hair.
Oh,
it's part of the tree.
Okay. You sure? Because...
yeah. It's part of the tree.
It's part of the tree. Just looks like hair. So tell me, what do you think of this, Tammy?
Well, I do think that it was not made just by nature because there's too many tree bends interwoven into it to help keep it into place. It's not just things that fell on top of each other, so. It's not like that one's dead. That one's still living and growing.
Anyway, let's say that fell and this one fell and rested on there. That would explain that part of it. But yeah, the main question is, I think that's the main question in this whole scenario, is what caused this to bend over? If this fell from there, rested on that and came down, is that enough pressure to cause this to bend over, or would it knock this thing off?
I think it just would have slid down the side of it. Definitely a potential structure.
As we all gather to discuss today's activity, the Sasquatchers inform us that they have an idea how we might be able to get close to Bigfoots. They call it remote viewing. Jen will explain exactly what remote viewing is.
Well, we've been remote viewing this area we're looking at Google satellite imagery, and we're using our psychic abilities, asking to look for Bigfoot, to be shown where Bigfoot is.
And here's Adam Davies explaining the game plan.
The Sasquatchers have said that there's a potential Bigfoot or a group of them in this area or a clearing that they've identified. So what I'm going to do is apply my tracking methodology to what they have suggested. Now, one of the things that I'd like to do, given the mass of the tree area, and I haven't been there yet, so this is a suggested plan, is to approach it with two different groups from two different angles. Yeah. So what we're trying to do is a sort of pincer movement to squeeze, gradually go in the forest, and I'm picking the best trackers on each side to go in first, with the other people backing them up, so that if the thing bolts or any of them bolt, they'll have to run into a clearing and we'll be able to get a good video shot of them. It has a low probability of success, but you never know. I've got results using this method before with great apes, so why not try it here?
So right now we're waiting for the team. We don't know who's going with who, and we have to find out where we're going. Well, no matter what, this is going to be awesome. I have a feeling we're going to find something. Could be a deer. We go to the left.
And watch, this is how many trees we need to go in. So we just need to kind of count.
Can you send that screenshot to me and then back it out a little bit? Send that screenshot to me as well.
This one directly?
Yeah. Now, when did you do this remote viewing? Just now?
I did it last night, and then we looked again.
Time?
Well, this is live on Google Earth now, but this But we looked again, and they're still there, but they're a whole bunch like just randomly placed around the perimeter, around the whole thing.
Okay.
There was also a child over here.
Child.
Child.
An actual child.
Yeah, I kidnapped it last night.
A Bigfoot child.
A Bigfoot child. Thank
A
you.
Bigfoot
Thank
child.
you. Thanks. A Canadian sense of humor there.
The big guy was here, and then there's 5 or 6 other ones up here.
Let's get going. But finally, we are on our way.
We will linger back until you guys let us know that you're in position.
They protect you from the ones that aren't understood. No one believes me. I know the truth. I say I'm lost. I need Bigfoot to show me the way. I'm searching for
So this is okay. So this is where she wants us going next week.
Lost. I need Bigfoot to show me the way.
Yeah.
Smile, you're okay.
Right behind me, this is where we're going to go in. And this is where the Sasquatchers believe that there are quite a few Sasquatches just in there. I hope they're right. What's happening?
Well, we're waiting for Rob to give us the go-ahead. I think we might have a weak radio signal, so I think as soon as everybody's ready, I'm just going to tell them that we're going to go in.
We've already tracked it all the way across this compressed moss here, so it's been compressing the moss.
They're waiting for you at the end.
Oh, okay. So
We're going in.
I bet you can make that out at night just as easy.
The boys? Yeah.
What was it?
Might have been the boys.
Wait for us, Bigfoot. Wait for us.
Okay. We're just waiting for the other team. As we charged through the forest, hoping to catch a glimpse of a Sasquatch, every movement that caught my eye heightened my curiosity.
Watch the branches snapping you back. Ready?
Okay, we're moving now. There's a Sasquatch right there. There he is. What's interesting is Team Kryder was following tree breaks that led them to the same area where the Sasquatchers were convinced that Sasquatchers were hanging out.
Or this turns and goes around it. Yeah, that could also just be putting that through here.
To be sure we didn't miss anything, we all split up to cover more ground. After a long day of searching for any evidence of Bigfoot, we all gathered together. And as we watched the sky turn to a beautiful pink, we rested up because we knew that the next morning was going to be exciting.
Oh, we're right there with you.
Who's that?
Oh, animal.
Who that?
It's Kevin.
I just swallowed a mosquito.
So today we decided to do an approach which was unique based on what the ladies, the Sasquatchers, had said was remote viewing. And I think, you know, it's important that you don't dismiss anything that has had some credibility. The CIA have used it before, and if the CIA have used it before, then why don't we try it? That's my rationale. But let's focus specifically on what our team found that was of interest. There were tracks of predators, for example, wolves and bears, but we didn't find any tracks of a Bigfoot or what could have been a Bigfoot in any way per se. So in the spot where the ladies had said that there was potential evidence based on their remote viewing, what we found was we found a couple of things which were quite strange. The first thing was that we found on several occasions a strong fishy smell. No, there's no fish, there's no water in that immediate vicinity, so that was interesting because there are no fish in the area or streams or anything else, not within at least a few miles. I'd have to look to give you a specific, but there's nothing around there. Now there was a strong fishy smell. Now originally both Kevin and James had passed through that area as they had walked through the area.
Jason.
And Jason as well. When we went back in there, the smell was very strong. And what we also found, which was quite strange, we found two fungi pulled from their stalks. They had caps on them and overturned, and they were stood straight up. Now, is that determinative of a Bigfoot? No, it isn't, but it's very interesting in corroboration with the other team's activities. So we didn't get cumulative scientific evidence, but what we did get was some very strange anomalous events, which as a whole, as the group as a whole, would find very unusual. It would be very unusual if you're tracking to find so many things happen there. So it's an interesting area, and one of the locales where you would certainly want to put game trails up in the future.
I think you should also mention about how because there was a fish in the area, you'd also described in the car on the way back how the smoke comes through the pores. And that's
I should say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
She just did. I was invited to Michigan as a speaker. I interviewed a few eyewitnesses. I was also invited on an expedition to northern Michigan. After arriving, we set up camp surrounding ourselves with thick forests. For a couple of days, we searched for these hairy creatures. Finding what may be a couple Sasquatch footprints was so exciting. Two teams, led by the Sasquatchers, practicing remote viewing, surrounded an area believed to be where Bigfoots are hiding. The next morning, we had a meeting and decided to head deeper into the forest. Adam Davies and the Sasquatchers, they had to take off. I will miss them, but I was too excited to see what we might find in the new location. Suddenly, from the corner of my eye, I spotted something that looked familiar to me, that I have seen multiple times while searching for Sasquatches. This is very impressive. I mean, it is just free fall, but I love it. Holy shit, that is huge. That is definitely holy shit. Yeah, look at that. So, this one.
That one is beautiful.
Right? But look at the other one. The other one looks like a huge place.
That's the best one I've seen.
As Josh, Todd, and I investigate the tree structure, Robert and the rest of the group set up camp about 300 feet from the tree X.
What do y'all think?
Well, if we can park close, I'll pitch the hammock right under here.
We'll be about half a mile away. Oh, gee.
Remarkable.
This has been bent and split. Right here, you see that? This has been pushed down. I don't know if it was from that tree.
I'm pretty sure this is not the original location. No.
No, it's not.
So what you see behind me is an X found by Jason Kenzie, and you can tell that the X is been manipulated to some degree. We're not sure by who or by what, but it wouldn't seem to have naturally fallen in this position. X's above hand just normally would signify a barrier without having to draw a specific line with trees falling. So they'll put them in an obvious place, like we have an actual Forest Service road over here behind us, and that X would be visible from that road to make just a visible signpost, 100, 200 foot off the road, just to kind of tell you don't bother stopping and going beyond this point. It's kind of a courtesy measure in a sense to just let you know where the boundaries are. And this does seem to fit that bill. I'm going to spend the night here in a hammock. Do you think that's a smart idea? Not really. No. I mean, that's why I'm fixing to nickname you Bait.
Okay, so, we're going to set up camp here tonight. Gonna hang out with these guys, but first I want to just scope around and see what I can find. It looks like it's quite small over there, but, in this place, nothing's too small. I'll be able to see any animal that peeks his head out. Oh, I just hit my cameraman. So tonight, I'm going to be spending some quality time with this X that is behind me. Now I know the guys don't think this is a good idea because they truly believe that these Sasquatches might get insulted. And myself being a bit of a skeptic, I don't know if anything's going to come around the tent. Maybe this is crazy, but this is one heck of an adventure, and I'm so looking forward to tonight. Of course, you know, obviously, when tonight does come around, I may be crying like a little girl. Yep, just bawling, and those guys will just be laughing as the Sasquatch is carrying me off into the deep, dark forest. But seriously, this is so much fun. These guys are amazing. You know, the nicest guys I've met in a very long time. And they're very knowledgeable about the wilderness. Hopefully I'm safe tonight. And these mosquitoes that are trying to carry me off. Because I hate all you guys, you especially. Goddamn mosquito. I call you biter. I call you bloodbath. Another day has been swallowed up by darkness. The cameras that Robert is using are great for stealthy viewing. After setting up the little camera, here's Dave and I placing bait food on a small stump, hoping to lure out a creature of lore. Even though we were only 30 feet from camp, it was nice to know that there were always eyes on us, just in case something was to happen. As I stare out into the darkness, all I can think of is about my new friend, the X. It didn't take long for strange things to happen.
You said, I got eye shine.
Yeah.
So the distraction and the look.
We're getting a lot of action tonight.
I'm ready to go.
That sounded like a solid tree lock to me.
You heard that too?
Yep.
We got an owl to the west of us right now. We did, and it was more of a screechy, fucking type howl, wet to the west.
There it is again.
Yep, they're talking. Let's get some sound gear up on that.
I did a yelp twice, and then we heard a wood knock over there, and then right after that we heard a long howl, and it was long. It went on for 20 seconds.
So no.
Maybe less? 10 seconds?
Yeah, 10 seconds.
They went for 2 hours. Like I'm telling you, that
Damn
thing
straight.
had a good breath. For the next 2 hours, we sat quietly, listening for more screams. With no more action, we all turned in for the night, and I headed towards the tree X to try and get some shut-eye. We've been hearing screams all night so far. They're out here, whatever is making these screams. Sasquatch or whatever. Maybe other Sasquatch hunters. Maybe. I doubt it though.
We are way out here.
Suddenly, from out of the darkness came an extremely pukish smell. A combination of rotting fish and my feet after stepping in tons of bear shit. No, really, you gotta watch where you're stepping around here. Oh yeah, it smells bad.
Not a skunk.
No. We are just about to go to bed, and we're away from everyone else, and we smell a really bad stink, right? It's not a skunk. It's more like I don't know, something rotted. Yeah. It's quite trippy, actually. This is going to be a very interesting night, and it's going to be scary. I just know it. We just spent a whole lot of time trying to get ready for night 2, and hopefully something comes around. Hopefully everything goes good. Because we don't know what's going to happen. So right now I am just checking out my hammock. This is where I'm going to spend the night. And right here is the X. Come over here. Here you can see the X. And Sasquatch hunters believe that this X is a symbol of do not enter that direction. Almost like a don't cross. So I thought this would be the perfect place for me to spend the night. You know? And we've already heard a loud scream way off in the distance, you know, with wood knocks. So this is going to be very interesting. Time to go to bed. Hopefully I survive. Even as I make my way to my tree condo, I hear a whoop in the distance. As I lay quietly in my hammock, unaware that 400 feet away, our infrared camera would pick up something unbelievable. The sounds of the whoops are very interesting, but it's the unexplained talking that is fascinating. A language that I do not recognize. What is it that's making those sounds in the forest? Suddenly, I was awakened by a loud crack, followed by something big walking towards me. And then the unimaginable happened. There's something out there.
What jumped from the tree? One of my playing tricks on me. Darkness falls and they all creep in. The shadows of the moon around your teeth. It's okay to be afraid of all the monsters in the woods. They protect you from the ones that aren't understood. No one believes me. I know the truth. I say I'm lost. I need Bigfoot to show me the way. I'm searching for Sasquatch. I'm searching for Sasquatch. I'm lost. I need Bigfoot to show me